What if I told you that Counter-Strike's map pool used to be horrible? Yeah, big shocker, right? All right, I'm gonna go through CSGO's map pools and CS2's two map pools, and we're gonna see which one was the best. I'm gonna start from the beginning. I'm gonna go chronologically. So starting off, we've got the first OG 5 map pool. Now, I know a lot of you guys watching this video are nephews, but for unks like me, this map pool was horrible. This is when the game was in like beta, and people were complaining about CSGO like they do CS2 coming from 1.6. If you look at screenshots from maps back then, they used to have like a competitive mode map that they'd play in the tournaments, and then the like dog shit mode that they would have in matchmaking. So this is definitely getting a burger tier. This was horrible. And 5 maps, like there's a common trend, and I'll try to not like have recency bias, but people were really bad at the game 10 years ago, like really bad. Watching clips of pro players, like if you transported me back like 7 years, and I bet like most of the people watching this video into pro play, you'd be like top 5 players in the world. Like people's skill has risen so much in the last like 10 years. So I don't know why you're going to the back, buddy. Is this in order? Yeah, we're in order now. Okay, I don't know why Shanghai decided to not wait its turn. Get to the fucking back. And now for a message from the sponsor of today's video. Skin Club is the best adult case opening site on the internet. Skin Club lets you open cases for real cash with my promo code in the description. Aren't happy with what you got out of a case? Skin Club lets you write it along into an upgrader so you can get your value back with just a little bit of luck. You can deposit easily with all the methods that you see on screen with easy withdrawals. You can also battle against other players or split the difference so that everybody wins. Head on over to Skin Club with my link in the video description for a deposit bonus. Thank you to Skin Club for sponsoring today's video. Okay, so this map pool was Operation Breakout, and they added the like 7 map pool that we have today. And this was over 10 years ago at this point. So 10 years ago, they added the 7 map pool. And in this update, they took out Train and added Cache, Cobble, and Overpass. And Cache at this point in the game was actually pretty good, but Overpass and Cobblestone were terrible. Like Overpass, like do you even recognize this map? Like with these screenshots, like this map was so scuffed. And Cobblestone, same thing. Like this map was so scuffed. It had this like ladder in mid that you could go up and like look over T-spawn. It was fucked up. Cobblestone was a fucked up map. It was like Vertigo, old Vertigo. Like it was that tier of map. And so even though this map pool has some like goated maps in it, like, and they kind of started doing visibility updates and stuff, like it still had old Inferno and old Nuke. Like this horrible tier. Because the maps were just not working. Like half the maps just were terrible. They were like not really that much fun to play besides like casual games. And the esport hadn't really evolved at this point. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a horrible tier. Okay, this next map pool, honestly, one of my favorites. They did a bunch of Cobblestone fixes and Overpass fixes, and Overpass really hadn't changed that much after this update. I'm gonna be honest, it kind of stayed pretty similar besides some like little tiny tweaks. But at this point in the game, Inferno was still really bad, right? Because there's the old Inferno with like horrible viz. But the other maps were kind of goated. You had this like new Train, right? You had Mirage still looks the same. Cobble's pretty good. Cache at this point was good. I'm gonna have to put this map pool up in the Perma 1 map, and it's fine. Because you had to kind of choose between Dust 2 and Inferno if you wanted to perma those maps. So the other ones are pretty interesting. This is actually a pretty good map pool here. Okay, next map pool, they re-added Nuke and took out Inferno. And this was kind of the map pool where the game was evolving its look past the like Gmod era, of like Source 1 games. So like, we're gonna push the Source 1 engine to shit that like, I can't even believe that it's possible. The people at Valve working in the Source 1 engine, you've ever built a map in Source 1? Imagine taking 2 butterfly knives and sticking them straight into your eyeballs up through your brain. That's like half of the frustration amount that you get from working with Hammer 1. So the fact that this map even came out was insane. Okay, the only problem with this update was that the new Nuke looked amazing, but the map was actually horrendous to play. It had this like catwalk that went all the way from top main all the way around to heaven that CTs could start on. It was fucking messed up, dude. They still had the window and hut. They still had the double vents. Like this map was like trash tier to play, I'm gonna be honest, but it looked really cool. But for this map pool, I'm gonna have to put it in mid tier because the other maps were pretty good. It's just Nuke and Dust 2. Dust 2 is getting really stale, and so is Cache at this point. This is like a mid tier map pool because it still had like Cobble when it was at its peak, Overpass. It had Train, it had Mirage. So this is like a mid map tier. All right, next map pool, they removed the old Dust 2 and put in the new Inferno remake. I'm gonna say it, guys. This map pool is honestly almost elite. I have my biases, but this map pool was really fucking insane. Overpass is really good at this point. People were still enjoying Cobblestone, although it was kind of getting a little stale. Train was still loved by everybody. Mirage, obviously. Nuke got fixed. And Cash is pretty loved in Pugs. I don't think it was that loved in Pro Play because the map is extremely simple and there's not many options as the game is like evolving now, like 2018. Starting to get pretty modern here. But this is honestly one of the best map pools. I'm going to put it in the Perma 1 map and it's fine. Because I think at this point you can choose between like Cash or maybe one of the new maps or Cobblestone to ban out of these 7. I think the other ones were really, really good at this point. So this is going in this high tier here. All right, the next map pool was with the Dust 2 remake. And so they removed Cobblestone. And if you're a historian like me, you probably know that this era was when they removed Cobblestone and Astralis really started to like explode with their era pause. But since Cobble was their perma and they added a new map, they were just not even going to play the new map. So any team that was trying to like accident wins off them, they couldn't get a win, right? And so they just dominated in best of 3s. But the Dust 2 remake, like looking at the screenshots of old Dust 2 to new Dust 2, like how were people even playing the old one, you know? Like the new one just looks so much better. And this is kind of the seminal moment of, you know, the new look of CSGO. Everything's kind of coming together, you know? Maybe Mirage was ahead of its time and it still holds up and looks all right. But all these other maps, they look like the new Counter-Strike, right? Like they're pretty good. But I'd say at this point in the game, for one, Dust 2 is now back in the pool. It's like, come on, bro. Like we've gone through Dust 2. Like I get it, it's a classic, but like come on, this map is so boring. And then Cash is like Dust 2 2. Like they're such simple maps that the strategic depth is like really low, if we're gonna be honest, compared to some of these other maps that are way more complicated and have a lot more options. So I'm gonna put this map pool in mid tier. Just because a lot of the maps are, you know, they're kind of getting a little boring at this point, especially Cash and Dust 2. And maybe Train, because it was in there for so long. And Mirage is still in there. You know, Mirage, like, is Mirage, but it's nothing exceptional, right? It's just the map that everyone defaults to, so. All right, the next map pool was adding Vertigo for Cash. And if we think about modern Vertigo, people are like, oh, I hate modern Vertigo. You do not remember when Vertigo was updated. This map stunk of shit. This map was awful, dude. It was way worse than the new nuke. It had this window on A ramp that the CTs could see all the way from CT spawn into ramp, not just side hall like there is now. You could see all the way down into ramp. B site was a total cluster. Like B stairs was completely messed up. B site was so cluttered. There was like 50 pillars everywhere. Ooh, this map pool was... You know what? Because of how bad Vertigo was, and the fact that Dust 2 is still in this pool, it's going in horrible tier. I'll put it in mid tier. I mean, like, this map is so much worse than Cash when it launched. And guys, you don't remember playing Cash. Like, you have fond memories. I have fond memories of playing Cobblestone, okay? My memories on Cash were because I was really bad. And like, Cash is just, it's the most simple map ever, right? And there's like almost no depth. Every round is like the exact same. It makes it the perfect like pug autopilot dog map. But like, yeah, you guys have too many fond memories. I'm trying to reel it back in reality, okay? All right, next map pool, they took out Train for Ancient. And I gotta say, Ancient, one of the best maps to ever grace the game. Ancient is such a good map. Valve stopped doing crack when they re-added Vertigo, and they started doing Nicotine, and they locked the fuck in to make Ancient, okay? Ancient's such a goated map. I think Vertigo at this point, it was kind of coming together. You know, Dust 2 still in this pool. I'm gonna give this a good tier. This is actually a very solid map pool. Coming up, we have the last map pool of CSGO and the first map pool of CS2, where Anubis was added for Dust 2. And I gotta say, this is just a golf clap map pool. This map pool, I mean, people hate on Vertigo, but Vertigo is trying to do things, you know? It's interesting at least. It's something different, right? I could say for all 7 of these maps in the game, they're all doing something different at this point. Anubis is a distinctly T-sided map, which is something that people aren't used to since last playing Cobblestone like 6 years ago. Ancient is a very balanced map. Mirage, extremely balanced. Inferno, classic, extremely balanced. Nuke, classic. Pretty balanced, a little CT-sided, but you know, you can say that the CT-sided map of Nuke counteracts the T-sided map of Ancient. Overpass, goated map. A little CT-sided, but Overpass is so much fun. Like, who doesn't, you know, people who hate on Overpass, like, there's not that many of them, right? But everyone loves, like, a good Overpass game. And Vertigo, like, okay, you can start throwing your tomatoes at me about Vertigo, but I think Vertigo at this point, it's a solid map, right? Like, if we did a map tier list in its own, it'd probably get like a C. Some people are like over dramatic and they give it an F. It's the worst map ever, but it's not. You do not remember Cobblestone. You don't remember Cash. You don't remember Train, right? Because Train, if you played Train in modern CS, like that map is unplayable. You know, that map needs like a huge rework. Old Nuke, horrendous, right? Like people don't know how good they have it with Vertigo. I'm going to put this map tier as the best map tier here. This is going to get an Ultra S tier. I don't think any other map pool compares. I think this map pool is goated in my opinion, absolutely. Now, there's a conundrum because I was talking about CSGO this whole time and now we're moving to CS2 and I'm going to be honest, the map pool we have now, it's horrible. And there's a few reasons why, but I'll start with this. New Inferno, everyone fucking hates it, right? It's so cluttered. It's fucking laggy. You had to relearn all of your nades that you barely knew in the first place, and now they're even like more complicated and weird because there's more shit in the sky to look at, so you get more confused. Mirage hasn't changed at all. Still pretty good. Mirage is fine. Ancient's pretty good. Okay, fine. Nuke is okay, right? But people don't know how to play Nuke at all, unless you're in a pro level, right? So everyone fucking perma-bans Nuke. For whatever reason, everyone perma-complains about Vertigo, even though clearly no one knows how to play it. Everyone thinks it's the map's fault, but it's just like Nuke. No one knows how to play it. Like, how many matchmaking games do I have to play where no one knows how to play it on the other team, right? And Anubis, kind of goated. I'm not gonna lie, Anubis is probably the best map in CS2 right now, besides maybe Ancient. And then, for whatever fucking reason, Valve decided to remove Overpass for Dust 2.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Now, if it's true that they removed Overpass to re-add Dust 2 because of the Chinese market, like, I mean, I'm throwing up two middle fingers. Like, just, are you serious? Like, there's no way that people, I just can't put that logic by my head. Like, there's no way people would see the game and see, oh, it's Dust 2. I'm going to watch the stream and buy a bunch of cases. It's like, doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess I'm not Galaxy brain enough to be on Valve's level. I don't want to say this map pool is horrible. I don't know where I'd put that. I feel like I'd put this in like mid tier. It's just mid. Like, it's just mid. Like some of that, like it's fine, but like I hate Inferno. I hate Dust 2. I just don't want to play either of those maps ever. Would I adjust anything here? What would I change? I think this is all right because I try to make this list based on like where the game was at the time, not like objective. Like if this was an objective map tier list, this would be at the very bottom because Cobblestone was like fucked at this point. But you know, you can ban one of the maps. So, all right, let me know what you guys think about this list. Was I right? Was I wrong? Am I scraping the bottom of the barrel for content? If you disagree with this list, dislike the video.